Ooh, okay, so there are quite a few new things going on in iOS 17, but these are 10 settings you simply cannot wait to change when you update. Okay, so the first 8 settings are going to require the Settings app. So go ahead and go into the Settings app. And as I said, we're going to start off with the camera kind of settings you want to change in iOS 17. So once you enter into this camera menu, go all the way down to the composition section. And here you'll find that there's 2 options, one for grid, one for level. Grid we've had for a very long time, but the new one exclusive to iOS 17 is the level. So go ahead and turn these 2 on. Level will be essentially a digital level for your photos and videos, ensuring that they're either perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical, so you can get that crisp and really good content for social media or whatever, family videos, whatever you want to do. You'll have much better video making sure that it's level. Okay, so we're going to stay in this menu and go to the Formats menu here, and we are going to go down to Pro, Raw, and Resolution Control. Make sure that's on, and we have a new option. It's called JPEG Max. So now you can actually take kind of like 48 megapixel lower storage space required photos. I use Pro Raw Max, definitely want to use that, so that's what I select, but you can use that lower kind of like storage option in the JPEG Max. Now next up, we're going to go to the battery menu, and in battery health and charging, you'll see a charging optimization menu. Now here you have one new option specific to iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max users. It's an 80% limit. So you can set that 80% limit for essentially charging up to 80% whenever you need it, or you can choose optimized battery charging, which charges to 100% whenever you need it. Now for users who have this option, I highly recommend using the 80% limit. It will maintain your long-term battery health on your iPhone. Now, next up, we're going to change some AirDrop settings. So go into General and then AirDrop. And then at the bottom here, under Start Sharing By, you want to toggle the Bringing Devices Together on. So if you have 2 iPhones that come together, you can now share name drop information, or you can share traditional AirDrop information like files, music, whatever you want, all via this kind of bringing devices tap to share kind of methodology that Apple has created now with AirDrop technologies. Okay, so next up, we are going to go down to the standby menu. And in the standby menu, you'll see under the display option, an option for always on. If you have an always on display, I highly recommend that you turn this feature on. It's a really cool feature specifically for standby mode. And then also as a bonus feature, go into night mode, turn this on. Okay, so there's a new way to activate Siri in iOS 17. Don't know if you heard about it, but if you go into the Siri and search menu, at the very top, you'll see Listen For. Go into this menu, and now you have 3 different options. Obviously, you can have it not listen for anything. You can listen for Hey Siri, or there's a new option where you can actually activate Siri using just the word Siri. Now, obviously, Apple is eventually going to transition to just using Siri versus Hey Siri, but you are now given the option to use both Siri or Hey Siri. Okay, so next up, Safari has gotten even better, especially when it comes to private browsing. So go into the Safari menu, and then we're going to go down a little bit here, down to the privacy and security menu. And the third option here says require Face ID to unlock private browsing. So whenever you're in a session and you leave that session, you will now have to use Face ID to get back into that private browsing session. Okay, so the last setting in the settings app specifically is for all Apple Watch users out there. If you go to the Control Center menu, and then you go all the way down to More Controls, you should now see a Ping My Watch option. So now that that's added, you can go ahead and go into the Control Center, and you can ping your watch directly from the Control Center, basically making it way easier to find your watch in situations where it's maybe in between couch cushions or just not findable immediately. Okay, so next up, go ahead and open up the Messages app. Obviously, there's a slight redesign here going on in the Messages app, but you used to have kind of an app drawer that would appear just over the keyboard. It was super clunky and was just not aesthetically pleasing. Apple has moved everything to this plus button here on the left-hand side. And as you can see, I have my full array here of what I typically use. And then there's extra options down here. But let's say I wanted to move digital touch to that upper menu section. I just go ahead and tap and hold. And then I'll go ahead and move that into this upper section. And I can go ahead and rearrange digital touch or whatever I want to be in this menu into that menu. Now, if I want to take digital touch out, just hold it, go down, and I'll just put it down here. So that's a really cool way to kind of reorganize what you want to see in this initial menu here. And you can put, I think, up to 8 or 10 in this menu, and then go down to the more menu for everything else that you have there. Okay, so last and final feature, go into the Maps app. And in the Maps app, go ahead and tap on your picture or whatever picture you have for your Apple ID. And then we're going to go into offline maps. Now here, I don't have anything downloaded, so go ahead, download an offline map. I'm going to go ahead and search for my current location. And new in iOS 17, you can now download maps to be made available offline. So this will actually save all of that data to your device. If I want to go ahead and let's say save the Los Angeles area here, it'll show me my size of that specific area. So this selected map area will be 1.08 gigabytes. Go ahead and download that area. And now anytime I'm in that specific area, I can use offline maps to get driving directions, turn-by-turn directions, information about businesses, and everything like that. So it's a handy new feature within the Maps app now where you can use offline maps. And then down below here, you have different settings. So I can do downloads only on Wi-Fi, or I can use cellular when available. That would be good for road trips. I can do automatic updates to those maps, and I can optimize my storage to ensure I'm using as little space as possible to carry these offline maps with me. Okay, so those were 10 settings you need to change when updating to iOS 17. Are these useful to you, or do you have better recommendations? Let me know in the comment section down below.